Hello, and welcome to episode 62 of the Eldritch Podblast. I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And hi!
Hello!
Can you hear me?
Is it 62?
Is anyone...
Or is it 61?
I think this is... No, this is 62. Yeah, this is definitely 62.
61 on my sheet.
Yeah, this is definitely 62. Yeah.
Two.
What should actually be neither? What should be like...
What should be 63?
What should be like episode 4? And we've just completely dreamt up all of this. We're
doing 3 in a row this week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we're a little bit like, is it this one? Is it this
one?
Is it this one?
A bit discombobulated, isn't it? Because
well, actually, we're doing 4 this week.
We're actually doing 4, yeah.
We're actually doing 3 in 3 days.
Yeah. Just because I need a week off.
Yeah, we're going to take a week.
Simple as that.
So
need a week off.
We're front loading a few so we can have some time off because you know you got to do what you got to do to have the time off.
You got to do it. Sometimes you just gotta put in that 8-day work week.
8-day work week.
Simple as.
It's a 365-day work year.
Yes, yeah.
Because that's being self-employed.
Yeah.
But we love being self-employed at the same time, so I can't complain.
Thank God we're able to
do this.
When I can recognize this, I think it's me who needs a break more than you.
Yes.
Like when I recognize that I need a break, to be able to be like, okay, we'll go through a week of hell to have a week off.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a luxury that barely anyone has nowadays.
Literally no one.
So we're very, very privileged to be able to do that. So feels good. But yeah, we're so listen.
We don't have a huge amount to update you on because
no, not really.
We only recorded yesterday, and tomorrow when we record, but for you Monday, we're gonna be like, we only recorded yesterday. For you, it's gonna be 4 days, so just don't worry about it.
So the only thing I can think to update the people is first of all, I didn't ask how. I'm so sorry. How are you? You've been floating through that void.
Yeah.
I know.
The void called life.
Yeah, you looked into the void and it stared back.
And it stared back.
Not only stared back, but took your whole identity.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I know, because I did that to you.
Because that was me.
Because that was us.
I am the void.
We took your blood and now...
I am the void.
And now you know. And I know. I get you. Take it easy on yourself. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I am good. I'm going to say it again. I'm warm.
Oh my God, it's so warm.
I said it last episode. I'll say it again.
When we set up the podcast, it's like the lights, the mics, the camera, the gate for the dog, checking the mics, making something to eat before we begin. And like we rush around and then we sit down and we're like,
yeah, give him the check in the mic. Give it to him.
Oh, you want me to do what I do?
Yeah, go on. Give him the sound test.
Checking the mic. Check 1 2 1 2 check 1 2 check.
And if I help, I just go, ah.
And I'm like, Margaret, can you check the mic? And she's like,
ah.
I can say like, and I'm just like, just say check 1 2. And she's like, check
1 2.
Like say it normal volume.
Check 1 2. So there you go. Yeah, this is a sound checking podcast.
Yeah.
All we do is sound check over and over and over for 3 hours.
But I'm like paranoid about the sound now because we had that one episode where
yeah, I know.
I'm like checking it. And I'm like, we're recording. If we have to stop the dog, I'm like checking it.
Yeah, such is life.
Things happen.
Now I've asked you how you are.
Yes.
The only thing I can think to update you on is on Monday's episode for you, we asked, because we finished our campaign now, barring a wrap-up session that we have coming up soon for us.
Yeah.
Would you like to have an extra episode in that week? Probably like an hour long, nothing massive.
Yeah.
Of simply just the campaign update.
Yes.
Basically. Because it's not going to be just the campaign update, is it?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, you kind of going over the story. And I put up a poll last night for me, a while ago for you, asking if people would like it. And it was overwhelmingly yes, which, first of all, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's very nice that you'd want that. So I think we probably are going to do that because the other alternative is put the campaign update at the beginning of next Monday's episode.
And it'd be 3.5 hours long.
And it'd be really, really long. So, and I understand that not everyone wants to watch the campaign updates too.
Yeah.
So it would just be for the people who really wanted to watch it. So I think we're going to do that. I don't know don't know exactly as of right now, but
no, I think we'll do it, but yeah, so the Monday coming up, you won't have a campaign update, but don't panic. You will just have you will just have an extra episode of us like for an hour just talking about the campaign. And then you'll just have your normal Thursday episode.
Yeah.
So
I think that is what we're
don't panic.
Panic. We'll mention it when we film. We'll mention it when we film. And, that is also barring our wrap-up session. So the campaign story has finished. We're going to have one more session where us as characters, we kind of do any unfinished business, kind of tie up anything we've got and say goodbye to each other. So that will actually be a completely separate thing.
So on Monday, are we going to do the campaign update of the last session? And then the last one will be like the wrap-up session?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if we should do separate ones for both. Shall we leave it until we do the wrap-up session and then have the episode, including the story finisher and the wrap-up session? I don't really know because I don't really want to churn out 2 extra videos because... Listen, YouTube's algorithm is really weird. And
2 extra videos?
Yeah, if we did one for the
story
wrap-up.
What I was saying was, are we going to do the story wrap-up in Monday's episode as normal, and then just do the extra one for the wrap-up session?
No.
Or are we just going to not do any update on Monday, and then just do one for the story update, the story finisher, and the wrap-up session
that was
one?
That was exactly the question I was asking too,
Yeah, that's fine.
So... originally, it was just the story session, not including the wrap-up at all, because it hadn't happened yet, if that makes sense. But do we hold off and do... You know what? We could have had this conversation off camera. I'm so sorry.
This is how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll just do that. We'll just wait until after Wednesday when we've done the wrap-up session. And then we'll record it.
Okay, yeah, all right. So you probably might not have, going into next week, an extra video. It might be the week after then.
It might be the week after.
But we'll keep you updated. We don't... Time is a weird soup.
Time do be a weird soup.
So...
Time do be soupin'.
Time do be soupin' and do be weird, so I don't know.
I
don't know. We'll do something like that, but thank you so much for caring so much and wanting to hear a whole extra-ass episode. Insane to me, to be honest.
The campaign.
Yeah, insane. I wish more than anything you could have watched it with us. I wish more than anything we could have streamed it, but... It's just not possible.
Nah, not with the gear that we've got. We could never make it work properly.
Yeah, and it's just not possible for our home group as well because it would compromise too much. But just know I wish you could. Yeah. God, I really wish you could more than anything.
We let you in. You hear about everything.
You hear about it. You just don't perceive it with your own eyes.
It's just in a slightly different way.
Yeah, it's just in maybe a romanticized version after the fact. You know, that's just life. So that's it. I think, to be honest, do you have anything else?
Not really. No. No, I do have one thing.
Yeah?
So, we were on World of Warcraft last night.
Yeah?
And we went to an old raid called the Throne of Thunder.
Yeah?
To get some transmogs and mounts. And there's 2 mounts in there. There's 2 mounts in there that are a 3% drop chance.
I couldn't believe it. We went in with some good friends and I think one of our friends, she hadn't been in before. So we were like, oh, let's take you on a transmog run. And I got the 2 mount drops.
You got 2 mount drops, and it was a 3% drop chance for both.
Unbelievable.
I think we did the maths.
One of our friends worked out
0.09%
of me getting both of them.
Both of them in one run.
Good God, insane! I you know what? I was like, I probably should have put the lottery. No! I probably should have put a lottery ticket on or something, or. You know, if you play WoW and you know who Ashes of Alara is, I probably should have tried for that then as well. But
you can try for that tonight.
I'll try for that tonight. So, yeah, that was absolutely insane.
Yeah, we were just sort of like, it's one of those things that like we were like, oh, which mode do we get the second mount now?
Yeah,
and then it dropped and we were like,
just like, yeah, you got the first one, that's fine. You get the second one, we have a problem.
Yeah, we have a problem.
I got it, and we were all like.
Both 3% drop chances. People have tried that for years and not got it. No. And you got both in one go.
Stinky. Real stinky.
Wow.
I don't know what happened there.
Wow.
I'm also now a Sky main on Valorant.
Yes.
I'm not confirmed Sky main. I'm trying Sky out. If you don't know what Valorant is, you probably don't give birth.
Flipping heck.
Or flipping heck.
You don't give a single
flipping heck about that.
You don't give a single flooby. Not one.
But yeah, I like initiators. I've been a Fade main this whole time. I say this whole time for like the 2 months we've been playing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying Sky out. And if you get blinded by me, no, you didn't.
Yeah, if you get blinded by me, that's your fault.
Yeah, that's
your fault. You got blinded because you were in the wrong position.
Yep.
I called that flash and you walked out.
I definitely.
How about that?
I definitely called it.
Yeah, I definitely called it out loud.
Just rip it out.
I didn't just rip that flash.
Yep. Anyway,
yeah.
To people who don't play Valorant, that's going to make no sense. Just know I'm annoying.
No. You're doing very well.
Thank you.
The first time you've tried something that
Yeah,
isn't
thank
phase,
you.
and you're doing really well.
Thank you. You know what? We got one of our friends into Valorant as well. She'd watched us play it a few times, and
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. She was just like,
I'm down.
I'm down to play. She normally plays on console. She's taken to it so well as well.
Yeah.
Like, the first few times I played Valorant, I was like dying like 0 to 20. Let me tell you that. No kills, 20 deaths.
You'd never played a shooter either.
No, I never played a shooter. I don't think she really has played a shooter either, to be honest. But I know you're watching, and you did a great job, and we really love playing with you, and we love playing with all of our friends, so thank you.
Yeah.
And that's it. Should we just get into topic?
That's about it.
That's about it.
We're doing some advice today, baby.
Yeah, we're doing some advice.
We're doing some advice for you. For the people who put in the advice submissions, we're doing it for you.
You know what?
We get a lot of advice submissions.
The first submission form we had, it was overwhelmingly horror stories, right?
Yes.
I feel like we've had to set up a new submission form because the other one got too full. And these are overwhelmingly advice questions.
I think it's because the podcast's just getting bigger.
Yeah.
And people are saying that, there's a handful of people who are like, these two are idiots and they don't know what they're talking about.
Naturally.
But most people who watch us and actually listen to us are like, okay, these guys might actually have something good to say.
Yeah.
Along with the stupid memeing that they do and the outrageous behavior that they give, they might actually have some decent advice for me.
Yeah, and I think it's once again, it's really nice that you think of us like that. You think that we can help in any way, and that's what we want to do. That's what we always wanted to do. Like, and whether we say it so much, everything is subjective, everything is our opinion, and sometimes you just need to get something off your chest and have someone validate what you're feeling.
Most of the time with the advice, I think it's purely just like, sometimes you need somebody else to tell you. Yeah. You okay?
I didn't put the follow-ups either. Oh my God, I said last advice episode I was going to put the follow-ups in and I didn't.
Shame.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But most of the time when it comes to advice, it is purely just, you already know the right thing to do. You just want to hear us tell you that
it's okay to do it.
It's okay to do it.
Totally.
It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to act this way, say these things, do these things. Because because the thing is with the advice, the advice is tough because it's normally just a really hard conversation that you've got to have.
Yeah, totally. And listen, having hard conversations is awful. I know all about it. Jack knows all about it. It's awful, especially when it's your friends and you care dearly for them. It's hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
But you have to. Sometimes
you've got to do it.
Sometimes you just have to.
You've just got to do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think putting it off just makes it harder.
Agreed.
Worse.
Agreed.
For everyone involved. You, for the person who you're having this conversation with. To be able to just do it is the most important thing. So hopefully we can give you the tools to do that.
Yeah, and if the lighting keeps changing, it's going to, because we have our door open and the curtains are blowing in the wind.
And no one cares.
I'm sure no one's probably even noticed up.
You better not
now.
care.
Yeah.
Because it's hot.
What are you doing, Karen? Huh?
I need it open because otherwise I'm going to melt.
Sweat to
I'm
death.
going to melt and you're not going to be happy when you see
no one wants that.
It's messy puddle of me.
No, not the messy puddle.
The messy puddle.
The bloff. The bloff.
The bloff.
No.
The bloff.
All right.
I've just been bloffed.
Shall we just get into it?
It's bloffing time.
It's bloffing time,
Let's
baby.
Go.
Okay, bloff number 1.
Bloff number 1.
This has been sent in by Anonymous, and he goes by he, they.
Thank you, Anonymous, he, they, for your submission.
Thank you, Anonymous. The title is DM seeking advice for player who only engages for spicy roleplay. I have an online D&D campaign that has 4 players and has lasted a year. Anyways, an NPC that I will call K has become involved in the players' lives as a helper to their mission, flirted and slept with one of the PCs, and I'll refer to them as M, as a casual one-night stand. Quick fade to black. To note, K's profession is owning a high-class brothel. She has also slept with other NPCs, not just M. Due to her being a professional sex worker, I made M roll saves for levels of exhaustion. This is important to note later. In any case, ever since I let M sleep with K, the one time he has completely stopped being interested in the main plot of the campaign and is almost single-mindedly trying to sleep with her again. For example, the party came through hardships when some of their crew members died, including the best friend of K. K went into a deep depression. While the rest of the party got prepared for the fight with a BBEG, M happily skipped down to K's brothel and asked if they could have some sexy fun time again. So not only did M try to do this in an extremely bad moment for K, which seems disrespectful, but M was also wanting to go into the final fight against their BBEG with levels of exhaustion and no prep. The BBEG, by the way, was their/M's father, and this was supposed to be the big conclusion to their battle. I broke character and told M he couldn't do that and moved on. The BBEG was defeated, but there's more things that the party needs to do. However, M is not engaging in much roleplay with the PCs or NPCs. M will have their character wake up each morning, go to K's brothel, and if K is busy, then M will go back to the party's base and rest there before trying to engage with K again in the evening. I've tried to be non-confrontational and put distance between M and K. K retiring from the brothel, K becoming romantically involved with another NPC, etc. But M is still persisting in role-playing with K again. The other 3 players have all voiced their disdain about this to me all of the time. I know I made a mistake in hindsight, but I had no idea M would react this way the rest of the campaign. How do I handle this situation? I know that if I confront M directly about it, then they will be offended, and it will likely lead to a falling out between friends in the party. We only have about 6 sessions until the campaign is over. Should I and the other players just put up with it till the end? And then note, sorry, this may be in a confusing order. English is not my first language. Never apologize you articulated that incredibly well, Anonymous,
very well.
And never apologize for English not being your first
Never
language.
apologize. That is our ignorance, not anything to do with you.
Indeed. Bloody hell.
Okay.
Oh my god.
This is a toughie.
This sounds like a nightmare.
I want to tackle one thing straight away.
Yeah.
You said, I know I made a mistake. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't make a mistake.
How were you to know?
Exactly.
Like, as long as, and I'm going on the assumption, Anonymous, that you had a session 0 where you said, what is everyone comfortable with?
Yeah.
You had agreed that everyone was okay with sexy moments. Like,
especially fade to black sexy moments.
Oh, totally.
There is nothing wrong with fade to black sexy moments.
And if that was agreed upon, and it sounds like it is because everyone engages in this, then how you did not make a mistake?
No.
How would you know? Like, mistakes, they're mistakes because you had no idea at the time what you were doing. You know what I mean? They're mistakes because in hindsight, you can look back on them.
Like, you've handled it respectfully.
Yeah.
You did the fade to black.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like even just like a fleeting thing. Like, they just went to, it's like this K like runs the brothel.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, it all sounds like very well handled.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say you made a mistake for somebody else's bad behavior.
Yeah, totally.
Somebody else's bad behavior is never your mistake.
Yeah, it's like you set the scene and they took advantage of it, and
that is exactly
they
it.
are now like hyper obsessed.
Yeah,
like this sounds genuinely unhealthy.
Yes,
this sounds like, because again, yes, we're playing a game, and yes, you have to separate yourself from character and player, right? But there's still the player behind the character, and there's still you behind the NPC.
Yeah.
And this is just such an unhealthy situation.
And the thing is, it sounds like you've taken steps to try and stop this. Kay's in a healthy relationship.
Yep.
Kay no longer runs the brothel.
Yeah.
Like, people's, like, it's just so tough to say, like, and you need to understand that people's actions that aren't yours aren't your mistakes, and they can never be misconstrued as your mistakes. You only do what, as the dungeon master, your players are asking for things, and like, you aren't the first person who's done a fade to black sexy
No,
scene.
you
aren't the
at
first
all.
person who's put in a brothel. You aren't the first person to do any of these things, but people should be able to handle themselves better than this.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
like,
completely.
This person, this is like to me, I think, I don't know the player, so I might just be speaking out of turn here. This seems like this player is getting, did you say addicted to this?
Well,
sort
no,
of
I think it's just unhealthy.
Unhealthy,
This is unhealthy, yeah.
That's the spider.
I know. I've been watching this. I'm sorry, you can probably see this whole time. I've been watching the spider.
Like, it's unhealthy. It is unhealthy in a way, and the rest of your players voicing the concerns as well, and you've only got 6 sessions left. There's a few things you can do.
Yeah, there is a few options.
And the fact that you broke character and
said no.
No,
move on.
Like, said no, move on. Had Kay retire from the brothel, had Kay be in a healthy relationship, and this person still go, it's like, there is just a distinct lack of respect for you and your NPCs here.
Totally. Like, regardless of what the situation is, if
Yeah.
you're saying no, leave it. They should be
100%.
leaving
They
it.
should, yeah, but obviously we know that not everyone picks up social cues as good as me or Margaret does.
Yeah.
So I think maybe there's two things you can do. You can, if you don't like confrontation, leave it the 6 sessions, and then have the conversation after the fact, or don't invite this person to your next campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Don't involve them in the next things you're doing if that's what you want to do. But if they're a friend, I don't know. You can just plain and simple now have the conversation with them.
Yeah, like that of course, have a conversation is. I know you say that if you go to them like directly, there's a chance they might like blow up, and they'll be offended, and it will likely lead to a falling out. There is absolutely a way to have a conversation with someone gently and respectfully.
It depends how the other person reciprocates it, though.
True, but
Like,
I feel like that's on them.
Calling out bad behavior can go one of two ways. The person can respectfully say, "Fair enough, you're right. I made a mistake.
Yeah,
I'll try not to do it." Or they can see that you're calling out the bad behavior.
Yeah, and then they'll put the defenses up.
And blow up about it.
And what I would say to that is, if you approach a conversation gently and respectfully, firmly but respectfully, and the other person meets you with aggression and meets you with wanting to fall out and offense, then
you don't want that person around you.
You definitely don't want that person in your D&D game, and you probably don't want that person as a friend.
No.
And you're saying they're making you uncomfortable. They've made everyone uncomfortable.
And those 4 players have voiced how uncomfortable they are.
Definitely. So my first bit of my genuine advice, and the thing I really think you should do, Anonymous, is speak to them.
I agree.
Approach it in a way of being like, hey, like, I hope we can talk, and I don't really know how to bring this up.
And I don't want this to be a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just want this to be, I'm telling you how I feel, and that is it.
Yeah, and I just wanted to check on you because I have noticed your character will not leave this character alone. And
even despite my best efforts of these roleplay things, and then out of game asking you to leave it, you still won't.
Yeah, and I apologize if it hasn't been made clear enough that I'm uncomfortable with it, but I just want you to know I am uncomfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering why you consistently want to go back to her.
Yeah.
Like, is it because, like, what's the reason you want to keep going back?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you ask someone a question, in my opinion, they can't not answer.
Yeah, they can't not answer.
Yeah.
They can lie, sadly.
Yeah, they can lie, of course they can.
But they can't not answer.
That's also not on you if they lie. Like, ask them, like, is there a reason?
Is there a reason?
Do you want, like, a long-term partner at the end of this?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want?
Because I can write that in, like, if that's what you want.
But it's becoming really difficult. You always leaving and prioritizing this one NPC over the party.
It might come down to, you need to are the other players uncomfortable with this person?
Yeah.
Like, is it the sexy time?
Yeah, is that what it is?
Because, like, I'm not just going to give you an NPC to just have sexy time with.
No, of course,
like,
of course not.
If you want a long-lasting relationship to have in the game, because a lot of people do like doing that, like, I can facilitate that.
Yeah.
But you've got to understand that it's not just sexy time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I won't do that for you.
Yeah. And there is, again, so many ways. That's just one way to word it. I would 100% try and just have the conversation. And you know what? You know that other people are bothered about it too.
Yeah.
It's not just you.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, if everyone is feeling a certain way about one person, it's that one person.
You can tell it's this one person.
It is 100.
It's
In this situation, it is 100.
It has to be this one person.
Now, if you really don't want to talk to them, like, I cannot stress how much you should. If you don't want to talk to them, I don't know, get the NPC to move away. Yeah.
Or, like, the thing is, I know you're saying that, but it is tough for some people.
It is. It's hard.
Some people, like, really do not like conflict.
Yeah.
And will avoid it at all costs.
Especially if you're close in real life friends.
I agree with you that the conversation is the right thing to do, but if you just cannot bring yourself to have that conversation, you can maybe even fast track these last 6 episodes. And say, like, to the other 4 players, like, I'm really sorry, I don't feel comfortable having the conversation. I'm just going to get these 6 episodes done in 4 or something like that. We'll put up with it, and then we just won't invite them back for the next one.
Yeah, true. again,
if that's what you want to
yeah,
do.
again, I also think though it's if everyone else is playing and having a good time, is it unfair to fast track 6 episodes into 4?
Oh, I agree. Like, I agree
Mm.
with you that isn't the best thing to do. But for some people, it's just not an option.
True, I agree, and like again, there is options. You could just have the NPC. You say the NPC has a relationship with another NPC.
Yeah.
Have them move away
They've
suddenly.
moved away into the sunset.
Yeah, they've
and
moved away.
They're
Simply
going to a more peaceful land.
Yeah, because
and
if K is just if M is just
yeah.
obsessed with K, just take K out of the
Just take
picture.
K away.
Like, just get her
Which
gone.
might feel bad for you because you might
Yeah.
work hard on this NPC, and I understand that. But like, it might bring you a little bit more peace.
And I say move away because no one wants to kill their NPC.
No.
I would have said just kill her.
No,
But, just get her to move away.
Move away.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's a couple of options for you.
Yeah, there is. There is.
I'm really sorry that you've been put in this situation.
What a horrible situation to be
This
in.
is a stinky situation.
Oh my god, it is. This is so bad. I'm so sorry, Anonymous. This sucks.
This sucks.
And
this is the worst.
Again, I feel like this is just another reason on top of the pile why a lot of tables ban stuff like this.
Yeah, like,
because people can't be normal.
Yeah. And like, it depends. If moving forward you want to ban this stuff, like, don't be scared.
Oh my god, no. Yeah.
Don't be scared to, because like, I don't put anything in like this, like, at all. I only ever put anything in like this. I just put like attractive looking NPCs in because that's what Margaret wants. And then, if she's like, oh, I really like this one, can I romance them? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. We can do that. But, like, I don't seek that out.
No.
But if you want it, I will facilitate.
Which I do. But
yes.
Also, don't let this make you think you have to.
No.
Do you know there's two sides of it? Don't think you have to ban this stuff
No,
because one person's been fucking weird about
if
it.
Everybody else is treating it with respect.
Which they have.
And you with respect.
Yeah.
Then you can, it's true, you can have these things.
And it not turn into this.
Yeah.
It's all on this person.
Yeah, it's all on this person.
No mistakes were made. Not your fault.
No.
This person just can't be a normal human being.
No.
Unfortunately. I hope that helps, Anonymous. I really do. Please keep us updated. Yeah. That was actually the most recent one we had on the form as well, so it was just sent in. So please let us know how that goes. Why? Suck? Why do people gotta be like this?
People suck?
I don't know. Right, this next one.
Yeah.
This has been sent in by Tendy, and they go by they, he.
Tendy.
Thank you, Tendy.
Thank you. What was the pronoun, sorry?
They, he.
They, he. Thank you very much.
So I don't have a super long one. I'm fairly new to DMing, and I DM for 2 different groups, and whenever we can get the groups together. One thing I have found that is consistent is I struggle. Sorry. One thing I have struggled with consistently is making towns and cities feel immersive. It always feels to me like there's just a tavern and the few shops or a fetch quest or 2 that I come up with, trying to make them feel alive. But doing this just makes the town feel even more lacking. Any advice?
Yes. Okay. This is something that I fucking struggled with really hard in the beginning. Because I was like, well, there needs to be a town because there needs to be somewhere to have a long rest and this and that and whatever. And, towns are great, but like, think about this. One of the most important things for me was build a map first. Put the town on the map and then think about why it is where it is. Is it the next stop before the capital? Do people bring all of their goods here from faraway lands for the last final rest before they go on? So it's not a particularly comforting, it's just a necessity place.
Like a travel lodge.
Yeah, like a travel lodge.
Yeah.
Is it near the mountains? Is it a prominent mining town? Does it lay near the water? Does it catch like rare fish? Is it next to the woods? Does it have a very like good lumber mill where it's the strongest wood in the land?
Mm-hmm.
Does it lie like at the bottom of a hill? Is it like in a swamp that runs off the mountain where people can what's the thing where they like sift for gold?
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Like, for me, I let my map tell me why this is here.
Yeah, totally. And is it something to do with a character's backstory too?
Yeah,
Does a character come from there?
Yeah.
Because if they do, then there's everything already sorted out.
Like, just think about, like, and the thing is, you need one thing, and it's just like, oh, it's a mining town, and you go around and there's loads of dwarves there. and they're all covered in soot, and you know, like the ale is cheap there, and there's not a particular, it's not very much like a fashionable place, but it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, and just let those things drive why they're
Yeah,
there.
I think with towns, I got caught up in this as well when I DM'd. I was like, okay, has to have a tavern, has to have a shop. This shop has to have this inventory. This tavern has to have this food. It really doesn't have to be like that. And I actually think weighing yourself down with the mechanical facts of the town take away from the flavor of the town. Let's face it, the flavor of the town is what makes it feel alive.
Yeah.
Like, again, is it warm? Is it cold? Can you see, like, is it cloudy? Can you see the night sky? Can you not? Is it dry?
Yeah.
Those are things that make a town feel alive,
And
not the tavern and the magic shop, etc., etc.
When it comes to like what makes the tavern special or what makes the shop special, it's like you guys went from Fjallarfallen to Norheim. Norheim was high up.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah.
So all of the drinks were served hot.
Yeah.
Like, there you go.
Yeah.
There was loads of pelts everywhere. Like, they brought you hot blankets.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, think about what this town might be. Is it cold? Is it hot? Is it fucking always raining?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Is there like canopies everywhere because nobody wants to get wet all the time?
You know, a thing I loved about town making was I read something where it's like, just make up like 3 rumors that go around the town.
Yeah.
That's great as well. And especially that helps maybe you said fetch quests. That helps build like a little bit of lore about the town.
Yeah.
If you know they're going to be there for a while, like, oh yeah, there's this crazy man who lives in the woods. You know, that's just something. Even if they don't touch on it, you don't want them to touch on it. That's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Are they scholars? Is there libraries? Is it like an impoverished town? Has there been an uprising there? Is there a corrupt politician? Do you know what I mean? It's things like that make it feel alive. And also, if you know your characters, like Jack said, it's just a stop in between. Don't feel like you have to flesh every town out.
You don't have to flesh everything out.
Sometimes all your players care about is just
getting through.
Totally.
They just want to rest in a bed and keep going.
Exactly. Yeah. So don't. I think the overall thing is don't put pressure on yourself to do any of this if you don't enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a big thing. You've got to enjoy doing this. Like Margaret said there, in my campaign, there was a rule of everybody in the land knew or they suspected the higher up you were in the land, the more like knowledgeable you were because you were closer to like getting Lofnir's gifts.
Yeah.
So all of the wizards and the smart people and all the books were like higher up in the land.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there you go, you've already created like a little bit of lore for something like that.
Totally. And you know, your players going forward will be like, oh, this place is higher up. They're probably scholars.
Probably loads of books here.
Yeah.
We can do some research here.
Yeah. So I hope that helps. I think you gave some great advice there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because the thing is, I've struggled with things like this.
Yeah, totally.
And the thing is, if you don't have a map, like, just build. You don't even have to build the whole map.
No.
Like,
you don't even have to give it out to your players.
In mountain ranges, swamps, forests. Just put those things in because then when there's towns near it, you can be like, lumber mill, mining town, sifting for gold town.
Totally.
Like, all those things, you can put them in.
Yeah, totally. And it's the flavor that makes it feel alive, not the mechanics. Yeah. Definitely. 100%. Definitely. Hope that helps, Tendy.
Hope that helps.
Let us know. I hope that, and you know, anyone listening who's a new DM or just a DM in general, hope that helps.
Yeah,
hope that
100%, like Margaret said, if you don't need to flesh it out, don't waste your time.
Don't do it.
If you don't want to flesh it out, don't waste your time.
Your players aren't going to care.
There are some that need fleshing out and use those tools,
of course.
but do not feel like you need to do it for every single one.
Of course. So thank you, Tendy.
Thank you, Tendy.
This next one has been sent in by Anonymous. And they go by they, them.
Anonymous, they, them.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous, they, them, for your submission.
Hi, Margaret and Jack. I've been wondering how I can make combat more engaging. I'm a relatively new DM, but I have run a few sessions. Each time I find my combat encounters usually go on for far too long and my players stop being engaged. This is especially if their rolls are bad and their attacks keep missing. And in brackets, my group has somehow been cursed with bad rolls. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. When this happens, I can see them getting frustrated and bored, so I usually end the combat by having my enemies run away or just die quicker than they would have normally. Several of my players also have ADHD, so they find it hard to stay engaged for a long time. I know my players do enjoy both combat and roleplay because they ask for a mix of it in our session zeros. There was also a combat encounter that I ran once that included a chase sequence, and they really seemed to enjoy this a lot more. So I think that I need to find a different way to run combats than the standard hit enemy and enemy hit back.
Yeah.
I also don't find this style engaging as it's just repetitive and frustrating for me to run, but I'm just not sure what I can implement into regular combats to spice things up. So is there any way I can still run combats, but in a way that is engaging for my players?
Okay, easy.
Easy money.
Easy stuff.
Easy stuff. Easy money.
We'll start off with the absolute fucking basics.
Yep.
Hitting thing, you hitting it back, boring combat.
Yep, it is.
Always a boring combat.
Sometimes you want and you need a combat like that, but not all the time.
Every single monster in D&D has something cool about them for some reason. Is it a breath attack? Is it a web? Is it they have a fly speed? Is it that they can charm you? Like, every single monster should have something that makes them unique.
Yeah.
That isn't, like even a husk or something like that. It goes down to 1 hit point when it rolls the con save, and if it gets it pops back up to
comes
1.
Back up,
like, everything needs that one special thing to make it cool.
Totally.
One thing that D&D doesn't do very well, which I think they're going to change in 1D&D, is there isn't enough vulnerabilities. One thing that can really make it really quite cool is, let's just say it's an icy spider, and your players go in against it, and the wizard casts Firebolt, and you're like, oh, the Firebolt really does like a lot of damage, and the players all start going, oh, let's hit it with fire, let's hit it with fire. It's like, make those things like very apparent and very like thematically in roleplay. When you're describing the monster, it's covered in ice and snow, and it hits you, and it's like frozen to the touch.
Yeah. So someone might go,
let's try these things. And another thing that is fantastic for combat is have sometimes, not all the time, because sometimes it can be nice to just like fight something.
Yeah.
Have an extra objective.
Yes, this is exactly what I was going to say.
Have an extra objective that is like, the monster wants to get to this NPC.
Yep.
The monster wants to press this switch and blow up the world.
Yep.
The monster wants to have his minions fight you as he turns around and walks away and goes to his thing. And you need to get past his minions and stop him.
Yeah.
Like, all of those things are like stuff that you should consider.
Yeah, totally.
Are they? I remember when I ran a combat that was, they got attacked by some Yetis, and the Yetis just wanted to
grab someone and run.
Yeah, they wanted to grab somebody and run away and eat them.
Yeah.
And as soon as they picked somebody up, I was like, okay, they're going to start running away now.
And the Yetis started running, and
and everyone was like,
yeah. Well, exactly.
Then it was all like, slow them down. And
like try and like
them.
CC the monster, try get ahead of it, or just try pump loads of damage in. And when you do something like that, it means each player will be able to deal with it in the way that they enjoy dealing with it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and you say they like chase sequences. That's great. Every now and then, put something like a chase sequence in. Doesn't have to be a carbon copy of what you did before. There's so many ways to flavor that. But
yeah, like the Yetis. The Yeti fight could start out as a fight, and then as soon as the Yetis get enough food, they start to run away, and then it turns into a chase sequence.
Yeah, exactly. And
they're just trying to get back to the cave, and if they get back to the cave, there's more Yetis.
Yes,
there.
exactly.
Then the fight becomes even more dangerous because there's more Yetis.
Yeah.
Like, think about when you're running a combat, think about what your enemies want.
Yeah, think about their objectives.
There's so many times where I run a combat, and Josh said something really nice to me. It was like, you're really good at thinking about what your enemies would actually do.
Yeah, definitely.
And I was like, oh, thanks. Like, I do try to.
Yeah, you do. You really do. Yeah.
Every enemy has a reason to fight. Otherwise, they would just run away.
Yeah.
So think about what that is. Is it for food? Is it for territory?
Yeah.
Is it for the gold? Is it for they want to rob these people, but they realize that they're too strong, so they need to kill them?
Yeah.
Like, think about why your enemy is fighting, and then that will drive.
Totally.
Give them special attacks. Don't just have them do a hit, do a corner attack. Don't even have the attack do damage. Just make it paralyze someone. You know what I mean? Like, use those conditions to your favor. Yeah,
absolutely. And
that spices it up.
As you get into combats with more intelligent things, like even just, people, like, chances are, if a spellcaster is concentrating on a spell, an intelligent enemy is going to want to try and break that concentration, or is going to target someone. Have them target someone, and then everyone have to scramble to work around how to deal with that.
And like, say that out loud. Like,
say it out loud.
Sometimes a lot of DMs try and keep their motivations for their enemies secret. And I am like the most open and honest DM. I'm just like,
you are.
You did way too much damage that round. They're all going to turn on you and try and kill you.
Yeah.
Or like, you're concentrating on that spell and they're getting really annoyed. They're going to try and take some attacks of opportunity.
You do the famous line of, he looks at you.
He looks at you.
And we're like...
In that last fight, Josh did something, and I was like, Angerboda turns and looks directly at you.
And she looks at you.
And Josh went... Yeah, and you know what I mean? Like, like, say those things out loud.
Yeah.
The beast is hungry and it's desperate to feed. It looks at the weakest one in the pack to try and take it. And then everyone goes, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, shit. And it's like, say those things out loud. Don't keep them secret.
Totally. That's what fuels the players.
100%.
Like, when we hear you saying these things, if you didn't say these things and did them, there's chances that we could be like, what? Or we could be like, well, that seems unfair. Or like, what's happening here? Because you say it out loud, it preps us to be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes an engaging combat too,
Yeah.
is genuine communication from the DM to the players about what is going on. Even though it may seem obvious what's going on, having that line of communication, for me personally, and I can say for our table, keeps it really engaging for us.
Like, it's a simple one. Like, they're fighting a vampire. The vampire begins to lose the battle. He changes from trying to kill to just trying to charm. He knows he's losing this fight. He's going to start to try and recruit some allies. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah,
like, stuff like that. And it's like, oh, we know he's low. Okay. Like, even though the barbarian's been charmed, let's just try and focus him down.
Yeah, exactly,
like, it
exactly.
Just makes your players think.
It does. And, as well as that, Ginny D actually put out a really good video about how to make your combats more dynamic.
Ginny D's the best.
Oh, Ginny D is, oh my God.
Awesome.
She is. And, like, everyone watches her. Listen, if you don't watch her, you should watch her because her videos are so good. She's so creative.
And she's so, like... I think she just looks at things from so many angles.
Agreed.
I watch a Ginny D video, and I don't think I've ever watched a Ginny D video and not come away having learned something.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And she put out a really great video about this exact thing.
Yeah.
And if I remember, I will link the video. But I might not remember. If you're watching this, just please go watch some of Ginny D's videos about combat because they are incredibly informative and really good. So
do not be scared to also have your bad guys phase.
Oh, totally. Oh, yeah, you love a phase.
And it doesn't have to be like every fight.
Phasing's exciting. I don't care what anyone says. Phasing's so exciting.
Does it get to half health and then get its breath attack back automatically? Does it get to half health and gain a new ability? And it just shakes the combat up a tiny bit.
And say that. Yeah. Say that they are phased.
You can see something change about them physically, mentally, like the demeanor, the behavior.
Puts the shits up us.
Yeah, puts the shits up.
Real good. Great. Real good shit. So I hope that helps. I feel like that was something that you were very well equipped to help with. And me, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think you are, because the thing is, you're just as equipped as me because you've experienced all of these things. And
true.
You know how it feels.
I do know how
player.
It feels. Yeah, I do. I do. I know what I like, what I like to see in combat. So,
what's your favorite thing that I do in combat?
Genuinely, it's things when you go, he looks at you. Things like that. I love. I love you phase quite a lot of fights as well. I love phasing in fights too.
Mm-hmm.
And
phasing a boss is good.
I love that you say out loud what their thought process is. Mm-hmm. And personally, I love having in combat dialogue with baddies too. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah. Like, your bad guys can say things out loud.
That's my favorite thing. Is having is having.
Do they say meat's back on the menu, boys?
Yeah.
And
so
then
they should.
They're all cannibals and they're gonna try and eat you. Like, there you go.
Yeah, like I love having a bit of chit chat. So yeah, I hope that helps, Anonymous.
I hope that helped, Anonymous.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job. So don't beat yourself up too bad.
Don't feel like you have to implement everything I say.
No.
Like in one fight. Just do like one of them. Did that work? No. Try something else.
Yeah.
Did that work? Yes. Totally. Okay. We know that's a given. Now next fight we try something else.
Yeah. And please do watch Ginny D's video as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, please do. So this next one. This has been sent in by Anonymous, please.
Anonymous, please.
And he goes by he, him.
Number oh.
Well, what number is? Yeah, I don't know what number this is.
Anonymous, please, they, them.
Yeah, he, him.
He, him, sorry.
Is this, what?
Sorry, I try to do so many things and sometimes I miss the pronouns, which is very bad of me. So you need to just keep on top of me.
He, him. So hello, I'm an anonymous DM who loves the clips on TikTok. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, this may seem silly, but I legit have no idea what to do about this player at this point. We don't know who he has pissed off. What godly being has it out for him, but his rolls are always worse than I have ever seen. This player over our 20 sessions in our campaign has never rolled above a 10 on his D20.
In how many sessions?
20. In 20 sessions, never rolled over a 10 on his D20. For his checks, I purposely make them lower DCs, and somehow he still manages to fail them, to the point where I just start giving him something even for nat ones in combat.
Oh my god.
We have checked his dice to make sure that they're balanced. We have lent him our own dice, but he still fails everything. I'm afraid he may quit D&D because of this eldritch being on his shoulder fucking up every one of his rolls. I gave him as a DC of 2 to do his stats, and he had to roll anything above a 2. And he rolled a nat 1 twice. He had advantage. What the fuck do I do? Oh my god! Oh my god! You need an exorcism on them dice.
You need to get some sage.
Jesus.
You need to sit those in the dark room with some sage and just let them cleanse.
Oh my god! The thing is,
I was about to say, does this person just have weighted dice the wrong way?
That's what I was thinking. Obviously not.
No, that can't be the case.
What do you do?
Okay, I've got something for you.
Yeah, I mean, I have a suggestion.
I've got one thing for you that I use in my game.
Go on.
And it's called an advantage-disadvantage token.
Yes.
And this can be used. The odds have to change at some point. The odds have to change. They have to.
Literally, statistically, they have to.
And an advantage-disadvantage token, everyone gets one, so you will be giving these to everyone at your table. Every session, the token starts with advantage up, and it means that any time anyone fails, or if they want to give themselves advantage... Oh, there it is, yeah. If they want to give themselves advantage on a roll, they can just flip it over immediately. But on the other side, you have the disadvantage. And you're about to say, Jack, I don't need to give this person any more disadvantage. But what you can do is you can be very nice with the disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that this person fails. They've already failed on the check. You can be like, well, just use your disadvantage, roll again, and then flip it back over to advantage. So they can already have sucked.
Yeah.
They can suck again.
Yeah.
But then they get their advantage back.
They have their advantage back.
Yeah.
It's that having the advantage disadvantage coin, and we use these in lieu of inspiration. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But we use these instead of. These have changed the game for us. Yeah. Really changed the game.
They can use them on an attack roll, on a saving throw, on
anything,
an ability
really.
check.
Yeah.
They can use it on anything they want. They can, again, give themselves it before the roll, or see the roll, know that they failed, and then give themselves advantage.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the disadvantage tool is the best part of it.
Agreed.
I've had a session where Josh has sucked so much at rolling, and he's already failed an attack roll, and then I go, just use your disadvantage, roll again, you've already failed.
And get yourself the advantage.
But give yourself the advantage back.
Yeah.
Because it makes them feel like you're on their side.
Totally.
And sometimes that's all they need to feel.
And you know what? In boss fights as well, when we've burnt it and we have it, it also makes the combat more dynamic when you go, use your disadvantage, because you know that if we land this hit, it could be disastrous for the monster.
Yeah, for you, this is a fucking great tool.
Yeah,
in
totally.
A fight, because they use their advantage because they want to hit with their cool spell.
Yeah.
They hit with a cool spell, but then you hit them with everyone use a fireball and everyone's disadvantage is up,
Yeah,
and then you're
yeah.
like, I'm struggling here. Everybody use the disadvantage. They all fail. You actually get some damage out. So it's a fantastic tool.
We should sell them. I don't know why we don't. We really should sell these. These are the ones that I made for our table. But
these are a savior, and that might make them just know that you're on their side, because sometimes that's all it is.
Totally.
The curse will break at some point.
It has to.
And sometimes, maybe if they've struggled a lot, maybe if you're asking this, because there's a lot of times in D&D where us as DMs, we get into a bad habit of just asking for rolls when there's really not a roll needed.
Just give him it.
Sometimes it's like, oh, can I remember that thing? And I'm like, yeah, roll me an intelligence check. And I'm just like, they can remember the thing. It doesn't need a roll.
Yeah.
Can I jump up and grab this tree branch? It's like, yeah, you can. I don't need a dexterity check. Sometimes checks are fun, and I get that. And there is times where everyone's having a laugh, and we do it because it's funny to see somebody fail.
Yeah,
but if somebody's failing and failing and failing,
bad.
You can just give them something.
Yeah.
You can't give them everything, I get that, but you can give them something.
And if that all fails, try an online roller. I know it might feel real bad. Get something just up on his phone,
and he can just click the thing.
He can just click the button.
Click the button instead of having to roll the
again,
dice.
if he's cursed, which it sounds like it is, it sounds like there is indeed an eldritch bit. Have we set the entity on him?
Is he?
Oh, have we done this? Oh no!
Is his name Will Wheaton? Is his second name Wheaton and his first name Will? Or does he know Will Wheaton? Has he come in contact with Will Wheaton?
Yeah.
Has he been in the same room as Will?
Someone in our Discord was like, I have the same birthday as Will Wheaton, and that's why I roll
and that's
bad.
why I roll bad. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
It's campaign 1, Will Wheaton. It's almost unbelievable.
Well, this, it sounds like it's exactly the same situation as this.
He's already rolled God knows how many natural ones. And Matt's like, oh, make me a check. And he's like, he rolls the dice and Matt looks over and he looks at him and he's like, what did you get? And he's like, no, Matthew. You saw me roll a 1 and you looked away and you see another 1 and you would think that I've not rolled my dice yet, but I have rolled it.
Alas.
It is another 1.
I hope that helps.
Yes.
Genuinely, the advantage, disadvantage is game changing.
Yeah.
It changed the game for us. And
the session always begins with the advantage up.
Always.
You can help them out. You can use it to your advantage. But for a player like that who's down on the luck, that is a great tool to just help them out. When they've already failed, roll with disadvantage anyway because we'll flip it over.
Entity, release this human being.
Release this being.
We allow it.
We
allow it. That should change his luck.
And I didn't invent this. This is something I got from XP to level 3.
Yes.
Jake from XP level 3 mentioned this was one rule that he used, and I was like, I'm going to try that, and I used it, and I'll never look back.
Yeah, we will definitely sell these on Hellbound at some point.
Yeah.
We sell inspirations on tokens on Hellbound, which are the same, but yeah, we'll definitely sell them.
Yeah.
Hope that helps, Anonymous. I'm so sorry about your friend. That's hell on earth.
You can only do so much.
You can.
And it's very nice that you want to help your friend.
Download a dice roller.
Download a dice roller, because there's no way that has the same bad luck, right?
Yeah. Right. Please. Okay, this next one. This has been sent in by Anonymous, and they go by they, them.
Anonymous, they, them.
Thank
you so much for your submission. I hope we can help.
So I just joined a new game online and overrolled 20. We started at level 6 and we were given basic gist of the story. A kingdom was having some issues with a serious disease that was making animals and people go crazy and start killing each other. We all made our way to the kingdom in our own ways, and we would have more or less to track down the source of it, deal with it, and also have to handle the aftermath of it all. Obviously there's more to it, but I'm not the DM, so I don't know how they're going to make the campaign last until level 13, but I'm just so excited to play. I made a Life Cleric 1 Stars Druid 5 multi-class who fit the role of healer very well.
Yeah.
All seemed well throughout the session. We met each other and then we got into a combat with a few of the diseased farm animals. I tried casting Lesser Restoration on one of them, and my DM said that the spell takes effect, but then this causes the disease to spread more throughout the body. I had no issues with this, that's cool. We have more information on the disease at least. The combat goes on, no one is in any real danger because of the healing I'm able to put out. Cure Wounds at first levels heals 1d8 plus 4 plus 3, and lets me use the Chalice ability to heal for another 1d8 plus 4 healing on either the same person or a different person. And he has 40 HP worth of healing with a casting of Goodberry too. Insane.
Yeah.
Session ends and I thought we all had a good time. One of the players then came to me and explained that with all of my healing, it makes them feel like there wasn't a threat at all. They asked if I was willing to change characters to something with less powerful healing. I don't want to change, but I don't know what to do at this point. Any advice?
Yeah, fuck off.
Like,
don't do that. But it's none of their business.
Yeah, like
is this the first session? Because if it's the first session, the DM will learn what your capabilities are.
I think this was the first session.
Like, coming in at level 6 with a a Life Cleric Stars Druid multiclass, you're gonna pump out some.
You are gonna pump.
You're gonna pump
that healing.
And your DM might quite not know that that's your battle plan, but then they see in the first round of combat or the first session of combat, okay, you're a really great healer. That means I can up the damage a bit, make things a little bit more dangerous,
and
that'll make it feel like. Not that you've got to do more, but your healing will probably feel even better because it's like, we need this.
Yeah, and your DM wanted you to start at level 6?
Yeah.
So I would like to think that they are prepared immediately to up the ante from what would be a level 1 combat to a level 6 combat, right?
Like, the thing is, this isn't a qualm to take with you.
This is a qualm to take with the DM, surely.
And I don't even think it's a qualm yet. It's session 1.
It's session 1. It's session 1.
Introduction. Nobody wants to fucking be going down and having to get healed up in session 1. It's just an introduction to the campaign.
Yeah. I couldn't ever imagine being the type of person to go to someone in the first session and be like, can you change your character actually?
Can you get fucked?
Yeah, can you
mind your own fucking business?
Like,
can you wind your neck in?
Yeah, like the whole like changing. First of all, I don't think this person should have had the conversation with you at all.
No.
At session 1.
Session 1, even worse.
Yeah.
Conversation with you shouldn't have even happened.
Yeah,
it's
and definitely never to ask you to change your character.
Yeah, it's a conversation with the dungeon master.
It is a conversation with the dungeon master, and I think this person's actually jumped the gun, to be honest.
100% jumped the gun. And like, there's nothing wrong with wanting tough combats. Me, God, live for it. If I'm in mortal peril every combat, I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. Some people don't love that. Some DMs don't want to give that. Like, this person might just be in the wrong game.
Yeah.
We don't know yet because it's session 1.
It's session 1. And you know what? I don't know if you've like replied to this, and you say you don't want to change. You shouldn't have to change. My advice to this would be saying something along the lines of like, oh, well, it's session 1. The DM's probably still getting used to like what we're able to do. Give it a few sessions, and I'm certain that they're going to get harder.
Like, the thing is, you can pick Stars Druid and not be a healer.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
So, like,
yeah, totally.
Unless the DM has specifically come to you and been like, are you the healer?
Yeah.
They might have seen you take 1 in Life Cleric and 5 in Stars Druid and be like,
healer.
They're probably going to DPS,
yeah.
but then with some off healing.
Yeah.
That might be what they're doing. So the fact that they didn't exactly know exactly how you were going to play in session 1, it's not like, the DM can't read you in mind.
Yeah, I would literally just be like, yeah, it was a lot of healing.
Yeah.
And like, I'm so glad I did. Like, that's fucking why I'm here.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
That's what I want to do.
That's why I built this character.
Like, just be, it's like, it's the first session. I'm sure the DM is going to get used to how we play. So like, just don't worry about it.
Yeah, and if they don't, then we can speak to the DM about making the combat
exactly,
and
make
what we want.
Make it clear that if things don't change, it's a conversation with the DM.
Not with me.
Not with you.
I didn't plan the combat.
Yeah, but
I didn't run
simply
the combat.
not with you.
I'm just here trying to pump out some heals.
And who knows? Maybe this player will talk to the DM, and the DM will come to you and be like, "Okay, you do a lot of healing."
Yeah,
And if that's the case, that's the point. You work with each other. Don't work with this person.
No, don't work with this person.
Don't work with this person.
Like, at the end of the day, it might be, like. Nah, I'm not even going to say that because that's not right. I was going to be like, you could like maybe just do a little bit more DPS and a little bit less healing. You play the game.
Yeah, you play the game how you want.
You play the game how you want.
You play the game how you want.
Like people can adjust around you. Like the DM can make combats harder.
Yeah, totally.
The DM can do all sorts of things to make it. And again, let's just reiterate: session 1 isn't about killing people.
No.
It's about like introducing this, like they said, like this is the first time we've seen these infected beasts. Like we're just learning things. That's what it's about. It's setting the scene.
This kind of also feels to me like the other person is like, they're too overpowered. It's unbalanced. And it's like, what I say to that is, did you have a session 0? Yes, you did. I know you did because you said you did. Like, what were the rules explained between like the combat balance and how hard the combats were?
Yeah.
Was something like, this is a very strong multi-class with things like min-maxing spoken about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This all comes to me, in my opinion, down to the DM. And I'm not saying, by the way, that the DM has done anything wrong.
Because it's session 1.
Yeah. No one has done anything wrong here.
Let's just say it one more time. It's session 1.
I know that. I feel like this person has really jumped the gun.
Jumped the gun.
Really jumped the gun. I think they should have minded their own business.
And do you know what? Like, if you wanted to, like, if you want to min-max, you should be able to min-max. Like, everyone needs... this is the problem. Everyone, like, people try and put the fingers in each other's pies. We've talked about this before. Like, get your finger out of each other's pies.
Get them out!
Like, if somebody wants to min-max, that's up to them.
Yeah.
Like, but if you're upset about them min-maxing, why are you upset?
Yeah,
you need to think about why you're upset.
There is something to say, though, about having one min-maxer in a party
this
of
is the problem.
none.
Yeah.
That is a problem, and vice versa. But, this is fucking session 1.
Yeah, let's just cool our jets.
Yeah, I would just be I would be
asking people to change characters.
Yeah, listen, I would just go back completely politely, be like, yeah, it was a lot of damage, but it was a lot of healing. Like, it was first session. Like, give the DM a little bit of time to adjust. That's all I would say.
That's all I would say.
All I would say.
You play the game however you want to play it.
Yeah.
If you're maybe a little bit strong in comparison to everyone else,
like,
you could maybe change to instead of using your chalice, you could use the one where it does damage.
Yeah.
And maybe just tone the healing down a bit to maybe feel a little bit more balanced if that's what you want to do. But also at the same time, it's your life, it's your game. Like, you play it how you want. If it's not the table for you, it's not the table for you. But for right now, it's session 1.
Session 1.
Cool the jets.
Agreed.
And have that conversation that Margaret said with this person and see how it goes.
Hope that helps, Anonymous. Thank you very much. I
Thank
hope that
you.
helps. Please let us know. I promise one day I'll include all the follow-ups. We have follow-ups. I promise I'll include them at some point. We've got follow-ups.
We've got follow-ups.
One thing I have noticed about the follow-ups is I think maybe I don't know if it's maybe not clear enough, but the section is called like follow-up from a previous submission. We've had a few follow-ups of people being like, "Oh, you mentioned this, and here's my opinion on it," when it wasn't like their submission. Just to make it clear, that is purely for people who have submitted like a submission and they're following up because we've answered it.
Yeah.
If you want to like send any opinions like addressed about something we've talked about, think about like what it was. If it was an unpopular opinion, send it in the unpopular opinions and say, this is my opinion on the unpopular opinion. I should have said that at the beginning. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. You said it now.
Yeah.
It's been said.
Please. For my bookkeeping, I beg. Please.
I beg, I pray.
I please.
I please.
I please.
I please.
Please. All right, this next one. This has been sent in by Nat, and she goes by she, her.
Was this not from the Discord?
I don't think so, no.
Oh.
But, Nat, what are you doing? Get in the Discord. Was that your tummy?
That might have been my tummy.
That was a big rumble. That was a big rumbly tumbly.
I had a cheese sandwich before we began.
I had the PB and... No, I didn't. I had jam. Anyway.
You had jam on toast.
I had jam on toast. I have really bad teeth at the minute, so I have to eat gentle things. Anyway.
Crusty hard toast.
Yeah.
That's what she chose to eat.
This is Nat, and she goes by she, her.
Thank you, Nat. She, her, for your submission. We appreciate it.
And the title is, How Can I Not Be the Main Character? Sounds like an odd thing for a D&D player to say, right? Well, I play online via Discord and Roll20. I was invited to a Discord server that had several DMs with different games on different days. There was only one game available. Did you hear that?
Good game.
Who's that dude?
Who's what dude?
That dude who says gug. Anyway. From Family Guy.
Quagmire.
Yeah.
Giggity giggity.
Yeah, that's it. Giggity giggity.
All right.
There was only one game available for the time I wanted to play, so I blindly chose my DM and campaigned purely on chance. As far as the campaign setting and DM go, I hit the jackpot. He's a great guy, his table is super inviting, and he doesn't have crazy rules like you've mentioned on the podcast before.
We do be having some crazy rules on this podcast.
The campaign is set in a homebrew world, and where we are specifically is a very gothic Victorian undead vibe and is ruled by tiefling vampires.
Oh, listen to that.
It's super macabre and emo, and I love it. Me too.
Margaret would play in that campaign.
I would absolutely 100%. I made a tiefling sorcerer, which I chose more for the charisma bump than due to the campaign setting. When I mentioned it to the DM during session 0, he said if I wanted, I could be a noble in the land. The idea of using that in-game to be able to talk my way out of anything sounded like loads of fun, and it has been.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the direction my character has gone since the first game. She started out as a lawful neutral wild magic sorcerer and has since become a lawful evil sorcerer after a trip to the Shadowfell and the DM-induced character trauma, and in brackets, if the trauma is not in your backstory, it will be provided for you, lol. That's the DM's job.
Okay.
The one problem that I have found with this group has been the consistency of the other players. These are weekly paid sessions, and since I started playing in October/November of last year, there have been 3 or 4 versions of our player group. Some left because of money, some had work obligations, and others just got ghosted. Some others just ghosted, not got ghosted.
We just never talked to them ever again.
Them. I got my stepdaughter to join after some people had left around level 5, and she's been with the group ever since. Now we are level 10 and have been with this new batch of players for about 4 sessions now. In that time, we claimed a mana left to my character. We had to catch creatures in the sewer when my character was the most equipped to use magic items to capture said creatures. Then we went on a quest which was specifically for my character to gain favour with the regent/queen to become a vampire. Also, my character is constantly referred to as the leader, and while she may enjoy the power and attention, I do not. I worry because I don't want to chase away players from our campaign because the DM is focusing on my character so much right now. It's hard to gauge the others because we don't use video. I've casually mentioned this to my DM, saying I can't wait for the focus to be off of me, or am I just being paranoid? Is there any way I can reiterate to the other players that I'm not trying to be the main character or de facto leader? I feel like this is a really tricky situation to be in.
This is a tough one because as well, it's like you like the DM.
Yeah.
The DM is doing a good job.
It sounds like you're having an amazing time with your DM specifically.
Yeah. There is. I think it's going to be nice and simple. I think you just need to have another conversation with the Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
And I think it just needs to be a little bit more, not assertive, but just be like, I want the attention off me, please.
Yeah. And like, I feel this.
Yeah.
I understand fully how this feels. Listen, I love attention. I wouldn't be sat here right now on YouTube if I didn't like attention, right? I wouldn't play D&D if I didn't like the attention. I do, but I understand exactly what you mean when there's a feeling of everything revolves around your character and you don't ever want people to think that maybe you forced this or you asked for this, and it can feel kind of bad.
Yeah.
But what I will say to that is potentially you could just be projecting your feelings onto other people.
I think you are a little bit. And it's not like a bad thing.
Oh, no. You're not. It's not like, you're projecting.
You're projecting. It's just like...
You're projecting your worries and assuming other people are feeling that.
Yeah, and it's because as well, you don't want the attention.
Yeah.
You're thinking everyone else is going, why is she getting so much attention?
Exactly.
What are the pronouns of this one, sorry?
They're they, them.
They, them.
She, her. She,
I
her.
was going to say, I thought it was she.
I'm so sorry.
And I panicked there, sorry. You're thinking, like, I don't want the attention. And then you're thinking everybody else is thinking, why is she getting all the attention? But they're probably not thinking that.
They're almost definitely not thinking that.
Especially if they've only been there for 4 sessions.
Yeah.
They're probably thinking...
Oh, we're in the middle of an arc.
We're in the middle of an arc.
Yeah.
You can go to your DM and just say, be honest, and just say to your Dungeon Master, like, we've had quite a lot of attention on me, and thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You're obviously, like, taking care of me very well in terms of...
And I love playing at your table.
And especially what you've done, like, with my backstory and stuff like that.
Thank you. And thank your DM as well.
Yeah, but just say, I think maybe we've got a few people who are staying and aren't just this revolving door. Can we try and keep them by giving them a bit of attention?
Exactly. How about we just put some focus on them, make them feel good.
Make them feel special because you've made me feel it.
Exactly. You're capable of making people feel really looked after and cared for.
Yeah.
Let's do it with them. Let's keep these people.
Yeah.
And, you could be honest and just say, like, I don't want people to think that it's all about me because it's not. And, in character too, there's ways you can do this in game that won't feel as cut and dry as being like, I'm not the leader. If you're all talking about how you succeeded or there's talks of something, you can just make your character make the point of being like, well, it was all of us.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, we all did great there.
Yeah.
Like, if I know that you're saying that about me, but I was only able to do that because you were there helping me. And I think one good thing is ask those 4 new players questions. Ask them about themselves.
Totally.
Ask them about, like, where they come from.
Yeah.
Why they're adventuring. Why aren't they at home? Like, because then they might just dig a few things up. And the fact that you're asking them and just giving them the limelight will allow them to feel special.
Totally. And you know what? I know you say that, like, she's kind of referred to as, like, the de facto leader. There's nothing wrong with having a leader, by the way.
No, some groups like it.
Yeah, and granted, I understand if you don't like it, then obviously there's an issue with that.
Fair.
But if you just don't like the role of leader because you don't want people being like, she's the leader.
Yeah.
Hey, having a leader isn't a bad thing.
No.
And
not always.
as long as there's a difference between anointing yourself leader and it being given to you.
Natural.
Do you know what I mean? Like, a natural leader will never say that they're the leader.
Yeah.
And importantly, like Jack said, if that's how your character is being portrayed, make sure she is including other people, asking questions. Take that time on a nighttime to have an individual relationship with everyone. Make them feel special.
If they do think you are the leader, or you've been the anointed leader, and you're asking questions, that just makes them feel like part of it.
Exactly.
This person who's very obviously special to the Dungeon Master and a big part of this story is, like, taking time to pay attention to me, which makes me then feel like part
good.
Of the group.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I would do a mix of them. I would talk to your DM, say, hey, thank you so much. I've loved it. let's keep these people in. Let's make it about them now.
Let's talk about them now.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
I do genuinely believe what Margaret said is true. I think that it is maybe a little bit like, because you don't want the attention so much, you feel like the attention's on you more than it probably actually is.
Totally. I agree.
Which is a very natural thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. I hope that helps, Nat.
I hope that helps, Nat.
I really hope that helps. I hope you enjoy the rest of your campaign.
Yes.
Keep us updated.
Let us know. Let us know.
Keep us updated.
Keep us updated.
So this next one, is this third to last?
This
one,
is,
two.
yes.
Yes, it is. This is third to last. I don't know what number that is.
This is number 7.
This is number 7. This has been sent in by Anonymous, and she goes by she, her.
Thank you, Anonymous. She, her. Thank you so much for your submission.
Hello, my pronouns are she, her, and I would really appreciate some advice on dealing with someone who I think has become a bit of a problem player. I play both with him in one campaign and DM for him in another. I get along very, very well with everyone else, and I have had no issues with them. But as you can tell from the title, I cannot say the same for him. He has repeatedly interrupted me or cut me off completely, not just when having group discussions, but also during intense roleplay moments where his character was not present, during my turns in combat, when I was sharing vital information for the PCs, and when trying to answer questions my other players asked. In my campaign, he has missed more sessions than anyone else, and unless we are in combat, he has repeatedly just ignored what was going on. In the campaign we play in together, he has played 5 different characters. And
5?
And all of them have picked a fight with mine, with the exception of only one who died, and that was only around for a session and a half.
That was probably because he didn't have time to
Yeah.
with you.
I don't mind inter-party conflict, and in some cases I even like it. But with the exception of the dead one, all of his characters have either done something horrible to my character and then left without consequences, or picked a really big fight and left without consequence. The other players and myself have had to pick up the pieces every single time, and to make matters worse, my character has only gotten into a fight with one other PC who turned out to be a demon lord in disguise. His last character left me feeling particularly icky, as after he left the party, I had mentioned my character had taken off her mask, as she didn't want to be seen as deceptive by a noble that they were trying to win over. His character had never seen her without the mask, and he said he would have hated her for being beautiful. I have never called her beautiful, pretty, or anything like that. He has also gotten legitimately angry with me over things I either had no control over or were actively his fault. For example, he was really, really mad that I didn't prep Banishment despite the fact that I played a bard and Banishment isn't on their tier spell list. We're also only level 8, so it's not like I could even grab it with magical secrets. He also decided to have his character abandon the party in the middle of me doing a big reveal for my character, and he got rid of the reinforcements we had managed to get so we could overthrow a castle of undead. His character came back at the end of the session, but afterwards was replaced by his cleric who died. 3 other PCs died, and the only ones who managed to survive were my bard and our ranger. He blamed me for the PC's deaths, even though our DM said I was the only one who did nothing to cause what had happened. He only acts like this towards me, and he obviously has not always acted like this, otherwise I wouldn't have invited him to the group that I DM. Something important to note is that we play online, and he first started acting up a little when we all found out that he is the oldest in the group at 30, and I'm the youngest at the group at 20. His behaviour has really changed after I sent a picture of me holding my new puppy, and he saw what I looked like for the first time. I finally voiced my concerns to my DM last week, but I'm really not sure where to go from here. Any advice would be appreciated.
So you sent a picture and his demeanour has changed to you?
Since he's seen what she looks like.
And all of this has happened since then?
That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
I think that's what she's saying is everything was fine. We realised that he was the oldest and he realised I'm the youngest, and his behaviour really changed after I sent a picture of what I looked like. That isn't a coincidence.
You're creepy.
You are weird as fuck, bro.
Yeah, and like the whole treat him mean and keep him keen, it doesn't work.
It's first of all, never worked.
It's never worked.
Never worked.
And it's fucking weird.
It's
the
worst.
Unacceptable. And that's exactly what this is, I think.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I think that is definitely an element of it.
I think there's an element of that.
100%, definitely an element
maybe not
of it.
all of it, but it's definitely an element of it here.
Definitely. And, but weird that in-game, when your character took off her mask, he was like, he would have hated her for being beautiful. That sounds like incel behavior to me. That sounds like a man who hates women, and he's like, oh, women get everything because they're beautiful and pretty. Yeah. And it's like to say he would have hated her because he's pretty, and obviously it's not. She's pretty. She's pretty. It's not for me to comment on, especially what you look like IRL. Yeah. OP. Yeah. But the fact that after you sent a picture of yourself and he started getting really nasty. Yeah. There is a correlation that's linked. Like. First of all, imagine if your friend came to you and told you this. What would you tell her? You'd tell her to tell him to get the fuck out of here, wouldn't you? And that's exactly what I'm going to tell you. Yeah.
I think the fact that I don't know what your dungeon master said, so I can't really be like...
True.
Like, if your dungeon master has your back and is just like, we need to do something about this situation.
Yeah, she did say, I actually spoke to my DM last week.
Yeah. Do we know how that went? No. I think, this person needs to leave. This person needs to leave the group. Yeah. Playing with this person is going to bring nothing but toxicity to your game.
It already has.
Nothing but an uncomfortable environment for you, which is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Just because you're a woman, and this person obviously has some sort of feeling about how you look.
Totally. Obviously has some, either way, sort of feeling about how you look.
Whether it's negative or positive.
And again, the fact that he's the oldest and you're the youngest.
Like 30 to 20.
Yeah, that's a huge age gap.
And
huge.
to try and make this person, as a 30-year-old playing in a game with a 20-year-old, you should probably be helping this person.
Completely.
You've been through far more than they have been through. You should look after these people and help them in their experience. But really what you're doing is flexing your age and making it difficult for this person.
Yeah. Yeah. So don't know how the conversation went with your DM.
No.
However, you DM a game for this person.
Okay.
Kick him the fuck out.
Yeah.
Kick him the fuck out. Do not look back. And listen, you're going to... No, you're not. I was going to say you're going to have a conversation about it, right? Have a conversation about it if you feel safe to and if you want to.
If you want to and you feel safe to.
And honestly, what I would say is... To be honest, you've pinpointed it so well in this submission. Mm-hmm. Take points that you've made in this submission and say, I have noticed a change and it makes me feel like this. Mm-hmm. You said this. It's made me feel like this. Mm-hmm. Did you mean it like this? Mm-hmm. And break it down like that. Yeah. And at the end of the day, say, your behavior towards me has been awful.
And it's made me feel uncomfortable.
And because of that, I don't even want to try and fix this. Because it's too far gone for me.
This person clearly doesn't do it with anybody else but you.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's you aren't crazy. You aren't paranoid.
No, oh my God,
There is a reason why this is happening. Yeah. I think a lot of times, especially in this situation, you just need to hear it. And let me tell you, there is a reason this person is doing this to you and you only and nobody else in the group. They are doing it for a reason.
Yeah. And honestly, I know it's really hard in the moment to stand up for the people around you. Yeah. I'm disappointed that no one else has stood up for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't know. The Dungeon Master might have.
True.
Fingers crossed the Dungeon Master has.
Well, to be fair, actually, when he blamed her,
the Dungeon Master was
like, it wasn't her fault.
Yeah, it literally was the only person who wasn't.
The interrupting you and getting, you say he got really, really mad. Is that someone you want to keep around you?
Is that somebody you want to be with?
No, it's not.
Is that somebody that you want to associate with? No. Somebody who just gets really mad at you.
An older man.
Getting mad at a 20-year-old girl.
That's uncomfortable for everyone.
Uncomfortable for everyone.
Yeah, and you know what? I really hope, I can't speak to what your DM has said. I really hope your DM supported you here.
Yeah.
But if you haven't said it already, I would make it so clear to your DM what's happened, how you feel.
Yeah.
Send this to your DM. Send this to your DM.
Master. And like Margaret said, if I agree, I think this is beyond the point of salvation.
Agreed.
Personally, I think this person's exhibited behaviors that are just unacceptable. And do you want to know what? Sometimes we don't need to give people.
Sometimes people, yeah.
Sometimes
people
some people don't deserve second chances.
Agreed.
And I don't think this person deserves an ounce of a second chance, a modicum of a second chance. I think you just fucking literally be like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Done. Full stop.
Yep.
If that's the way you feel, you shouldn't be.
No.
I want to correct myself. You are more than within your right to say that and act upon that.
You are. Truly you are. And kick him out of your game.
Fucking kick him.
Kick him out of your game. Speak to your DM. I hope you've kind of laid everything out with your DM and your DM's going to sort it out. If for whatever reason your DM is like, tell them.
Let's stop making women in the community or female presenting people in the community feel uncomfortable, because that's exactly what this person's doing.
Yeah.
We've spoken about this 100,000,000 times on this podcast. Like, dudes take the chance. They see it. Like, especially people like this, they see the chance.
Like fucking piranhas.
Like piranhas, yeah. And they pounce on it. They take it and they grasp it with both hands. And they want the opportunity. And, like, sometimes they just need a fucking smack down to realize, like, I'm not allowed to do this. I'm not allowed to, like, prey upon women like this.
They need to see other men saying, don't fucking talk to her like that.
Don't talk to her like that. Don't treat her like that.
They
Why are
need
you
to
treating her
see
like that?
other men saying, why are you talking over her, dude?
Yeah.
Why are you walking away?
Why don't you shut the fuck up and let us say it?
Why are you getting really, really mad? I don't care what the situation is. No one at your table, no one in your game should be getting really, really mad at you. No one should be.
It's D&D.
Like, regardless of that, no one should be getting really, really mad at you.
No.
Like, quite simply in that moment, because
in a game where
they
we're trying to
think
have fun.
you've made a mistake and they have the incorrect information about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my God, I don't have my gavel. Pestilent vibes.
Oh yeah,
from
this
player.
dude's pestilent.
And I'm so sorry, OP.
This dude's pestilent.
This is such a common thing.
Oh God, yeah, 100%.
Stand up for the women around you, please.
The whole, even the first part, the talking over, like, somebody, woman or not, like, let's just fucking have respect. Like, I feel like there's so many times where on the internet, especially, we're just like, yeah, but we don't know this, yeah, we don't know. It's like, stop making so many fucking excuses
for people.
For bad behavior.
Stop it.
Like, why are we just excusing bad behavior all the time? It's just like, is it wrong? Yes. Then let's just fucking call out for being wrong. If there's a reason, fair enough, let's tackle the reason, but it's wrong.
Like,
full stop.
You can't hear all of this and be like, well, maybe. What's the reason for it?
What do you mean, well, maybe? Let's just fucking call it out. It's fucking wrong. It's fucking wrong. Let's
honestly,
just call it.
OP, if you want to actually, and I don't blame you if you don't want to, if you want to try and get to the bottom of why this behavior is happening, if you care, if you want to hear this person out, say, why do you do this? Why have you been doing this to me? What changed?
I'm going to tell you right now, that's not going to end well.
No, but
sadly, that's the sort of people these people are.
Sometimes though, you know, this is me projecting. Sometimes I need to know why. Sometimes I need to ask the question.
I think that
why.
might be you.
Yeah, I think that is me.
That is me. Very you.
I very much need to know why someone chose to do an action like that.
Yeah, and you know, if you want to do that, you can. You're well within your right. You are more within your right to understand why this person treats you like this, because it's unfair. But don't feel like you have to do that.
No, absolutely not. Man, I'm sorry, OP. That's bull fucking shit.
Just send this to your DM and just clip this point.
Yeah.
Dungeon Master, kick this person out.
Yeah, DM. I really hope you do the right thing and you listen to what your player is saying. There is a player at your table who is
uncomfortable
and upset and being wrongly penalized, and you can't let people get really, really mad at your table at other players. You simply can't. And I really, really hope that...
I don't think it's ever happened to one of our games.
No, never. No one's gotten really fucking mad.
We've been playing for like 2.5, 3 years.
We had one situation where someone threw a big strop.
Oh, yes.
But,
I remember it.
Yeah,
I remember it
That wasn't really, really mad.
That was mad. It was just a strop. And,
someone just having a bad day.
Some people have bad days.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Oh, we don't play with this person anymore before you start speculating.
Just so you know.
I hope that helps, OP. I really hope that helps. And I'm sorry. And send a follow-up and I won't put it in the podcast.
You will.
I will. I promise. One day I will.
We'll just have to do a fucking full podcast.
We'll do a full follow-ups. To be honest, we probably could.
We probably could.
So.
Well, that one sucked.
That sucked.
I'm sorry. Was there a name that was anonymous, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Anonymous. I'm sorry, Anonymous, that you've ever been put in that situation. You ever had to feel that way. Because we should be protecting the females and the female presented people in the community. Because not that many people do.
Yeah.
And that's not good enough.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Agreed.
Look after each other out
Look
there.
after each other.
Yeah? Look after each other.
All right, the next one. This is second to last. So, this has been sent in by Anonymous. And he goes by he, they.
Anonymous he there, thank you so much for your
you.
submission. We love you very much.
Hello, first off, love the pod. Thank you, we love you too.
Thank you so much.
You. I need some advice on how to handle a dicey potential PvP situation. Me, the DM, he, they have been running a campaign for 6 players. Our main players in the story here are Goblin Rogue, Elf Rogue, the Dragonborn Cleric, and the Turtle Druid. Everything was seemingly going fine until the most recent plotline. The party were all exposed to a magical curse that could lead one of them to being possessed by a dead deity and are tracking down the one item that can cleanse them of this curse. I had them make saves over time, and the one who rolled the worst, the elf, ended up getting possessed. The elf has episodes where he blacks out and wakes up missing weaponry or with blood on his hands. The whole plotline culminated with the party planning to steal this needed item from a lord during a town festival. The plan was to have the elf hide inside a massive cake that the turtle had made as a gift for the lord to get inside his manor, and then the elf would take the item where the goblin and the dragonborn caused a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
The plan went sideways pretty quick when someone the goblin had previously stolen from showed up. And when the cultists of the dead god showed up to kidnap the party, and when the goblin ended up ditching the plan to hide, and when the elf had another blackout where he ended up killing the lord's daughter. The plan was successful with a heist in the end, but the party is furious at the elf. The party knows the nature of the possession, being that he blacks out and doesn't remember what happens, both in-game and out of game. But the goblin and turtle are both near the point of trying to kill the elf, while the lawful good dragonborn is having a difficult time rationalizing why he shouldn't just leave the party or try to take them to the guards. The party is putting the full blame of the sideways operation on the elf without acknowledging that it wasn't just his fault. So what should I, as the DM, do in this situation? Was it my fault that I introduced this possession plotline, or is it more nuanced? Oh, OP. This is a really bad situation.
This isn't great.
This is a really bad situation.
So, the elf is blacked out, murdered the daughter of the lord. The plan has gone sideways, and now everyone's mad at the elf.
Yeah, and the elf, in-game and out of game, has no idea what they're going to do. And I can only assume, DM, you're the person who is well, you have to be the person who's deciding
what's happened when they're blacked out.
What the elf is going to do. I think the first... see, all the advice I have for this is kind of retroactive, and
you're gonna have to.
I don't know if this is gonna.
You can do something not retroactively here, but it's gonna be like a role play thing, and it's gonna have to you're gonna have to sell them on it, and I think maybe now you understand that maybe you won't do something like this going forward.
Absolutely.
The thing is, I think a situation like this can work.
Agreed. Oh yeah, agreed.
But it has to be really, really fucking clear that the elf, the rogue, had no part in it. They had no say in the situation.
It also, in my opinion, has to be a full buy-in from the elf too.
From the elf.
I think we've said it so many times. Taking away player agency is typically a bad thing. And OP, I'm sorry, I think you can probably see why.
Yeah, this is why.
Yeah. And listen, you saying is this my fault? I don't think this is a pointing the finger game.
Yeah.
I know it feels like it because the players in game are trying to point the finger
at the rogue.
I don't think this is necessarily. I think it is more nuanced. I don't think it is necessarily just your fault.
No.
I think this has been a learning experience for you, and I think if this is the first time you've done something like this as well, you've probably learned from this, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, this is a bad situation.
This isn't great.
This is a bad situation.
We can attempt to fix it. What we can do is, I imagine that the party hasn't seen the rogue be taken over fully.
Yeah,
So why don't we have a situation like this? Let's just spitball here, as we like to do with these situations. Why don't we do something like this? they're all talking about what they're gonna do, and they're all blaming the rogue, and then the I don't know, the evil entity god that has taken like hold of the rogue.
Yep.
Separates itself from the rogue.
Yes.
The rogue like falls on the ground, like unconscious for a moment, and the fucking god deity, evil patron, whatever it is, addresses the group.
Yes.
And they're like, I can see you're all squabbling and stuff like that, and this was merely a vessel as they like look at the rogue.
Or maybe you could have it as a situation of the deity comes out and is like, your turn, and tries to go for someone else in the party.
Yeah.
And this can be the moment you would have to communicate this with your elf and say, this is your time to be like, no, I can't let this deity do this to my friend, and have the elf try and stop the deity hurting the party even more.
Yeah. And
this is the moment where the elf, when the deity is separated, can be like, this has all happened. Oh my God, none of it was me.
Yeah. Like if you have a roleplay situation where the entity thing separates itself from the rogue and shows itself to be this separate thing.
Totally.
And the rogue is stood there like, look, I told you it wasn't me. That can maybe come after.
Totally.
Then the...
So many flies. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I did it. I hit it, I think.
You hit it?
Yeah, I went ba-doom.
Did you touch it? Did you feel it?
I think so.
Did it go wee?
It didn't go wee. If you show them as separate entities, like, then the party will like begin to see and believe like these are two separate things. It wasn't the elf doing it.
Absolutely.
I think there really needs to be this separation between the two, because clearly right now there isn't enough. And you know, this comes with experience. This just comes with like knowing if you're going to do something like this, it needs to be 100% clear. This thing is doing it for you.
Totally.
Like you don't have any say in this. Taking away a player agency, we talk about it a lot. Like this is it's a fucking fine line. And a lot of people have messed it up. You aren't the first who's maybe been put in this situation, so don't beat yourself up.
Absolutely.
And like it's a learning experience. Like and everyone's allowed to make a mistake. For the love of God, don't beat yourself up too much.
Yeah, and I think this is another weird one where it's like, of course the players know that it's not the elf, right?
Yeah.
Of course the players are sat there being like, you know,
yeah.
they can.
We hope.
I don't see how they wouldn't know this.
Yeah.
I don't see how they wouldn't know the DM going, and then the rogue wakes up with blood on their hands. I can't see how they wouldn't know that isn't something that is out of their control.
Yeah.
But again, people don't read. Some people can't read between the lines, and I get that. But I would ask yourself specifically, DM, why did you make him kill the Lord's daughter?
Yeah.
Is there like a plot point in that?
Yeah.
Or did you just want him to do something heinous because the deity is heinous?
Like to show what the sort of thing, the chaos that the deity would like unleash.
Exactly. And if there wasn't a reason for that, I think maybe if you do something like this again, try to think of reasons as to why they would do something like this.
I agree.
Don't just make them do heinous shit for the reason of doing heinous shit.
Yeah.
Because that feels kind of bad.
That feels a little bit stinky.
Yeah. But I would definitely 100% separate them.
Separate them and show them separated. And like whether you want to do that or like what I said, like where it's just like it's done with this now. It's bored of this vessel. I'm gonna go somewhere else, and they sort of like they just see the separation of the rogue and the deity for like 1 second.
Absolutely.
To just see that it wasn't the rogue, and
Absolutely.
the rogue can wake up, and you need to prep the rogue for this though.
You do.
Need to be like,
you do.
This thing's going to separate for you, so you're going to get the chance to tell the party that it wasn't you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
be prepared.
Yeah.
Be prepared for that. And you know, another way to go about it is genuinely, before you play the next session, just say to the group together, out of character, like, I do want to make you aware that like it isn't this player doing this.
Yeah,
just to be crystal clear, it's not the player and it's not the character. It's like a plot point.
Yeah.
It's something I did, and I think maybe you should even talk privately regardless to the rogue and just
maybe even apologize and just be like, I'm sorry that I put you in this situation.
Yeah.
This isn't exactly how I wanted it to play out.
Yeah. But I'm going to work it out.
But we'll work it out.
Because obviously you want to work it out.
Yeah,
because
maybe give them ideas of like, it's all right to work with some plot points with your players. Like, just say to the rogue, like, I've got these 2 ideas, I've got these 3 ideas. Like ultimately, I know what's going to happen in the end, but what would you prefer out of all of this sort of thing? Like, it is going to separate itself from you and show itself. Like, what do you think?
Well, sorry, I've just reread it. The party knows the nature of the possession, and they know he blacks out and know he doesn't remember what happens in and out of game.
So the party's the problem.
Well, I don't necessarily know if it's as simple as that, but, the party, no. But at the same time, well, no, I was going to say at the same time, why would they want to kill him?
I know, this is I think there is a little bit to be said about them.
I think so.
Why do you want to kill him? Is it to get the entity separated from him?
Maybe it's a case of frustration seeping over out of game into game.
And that is if that's the case, then even more reason to separate the two.
Oh my god, 100%.
If they're frustrated with him, the fucking session begins with them having this conversation and this thing separating itself from him. If everyone's frustrated, you've obviously put in an advice submission. You've said the rogue doesn't know what to do. The party wants to get. Let's just separate.
Yeah, I
separate
think them. No matter what, you have to separate them immediately.
100%.
Immediately separate
100%
them.
separate
And
them.
there's so many ways to do it, and make it so maybe you get a hint of what this was, so they can do some research.
Yeah, so they can go to the library and what deity is this one that takes over people's body and takes over full autonomy.
Yeah.
It's this thing and this is where it dwells, and there we go. We can start to figure it out.
If you're struggling tying it into why he killed the Lord's daughter, have it so they have to have an audience with the Lord. They talk about this entity and the Lord is like, oh my god, this has happened before.
Yes, long ago.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Blah, blah, blah.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Blah, 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 blah.
That's up to you.
Yeah. But separate them.
Fucking separate them.
Separate them ASAP.
Them now.
100%.
As fast as possible.
ASAP. I'm sorry. This is such a stinky poo-poo situation for everyone.
And, it's... There is no fault and blame that we need to point.
No, not at all.
It's just learning how to handle these situations.
Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully you are now equipped. Yeah. And going forward, you know how to attack this.
Yeah, totally. I hope that helps, OP.
Good luck. Helps, OP. Good luck.
You've got this.
You've got this.
You've got this,
I believe
OP.
in you.
Yep.
Good luck.
You've got this. All right, this is the last one.
The last one?
This is it. We're in the last one. This final. Goodbye.
No,
that was it.
Yet.
It was goodbye. That's all it was.
It was goodbye.
It was goodbye. See ya. So this has been sent in by Anonymous, and she goes by she, her.
Thank you, Anonymous she, her, for your submission.
Anonymous. So I'm relatively new to the world of D&D. I've only been playing for about 2 years. I play a chaotic evil warlock who is on a hellbent revenge mission. For context going forward.
That's not that new. 2 years
no,
is pretty
deep.
I'd
say so.
Give yourself some credit.
Yeah. From my experience, I've learned that I get the most enjoyment out of the roleplay aspects of the game rather than combat and mechanics, etc. My question is, how do you tackle playing at a table when no one really wants to make out their impulsive moves? A group so worried about making the wrong choice that they sometimes don't make a choice at all.
Oh, that's a toughie.
As I'm relatively new addition to my table, I found myself holding back on doing things I'd really like to try out of fear that others at the table will be annoyed with me and my decisions out of character. I think this draws from joining a campaign which has been playing for over a year before I came in, as well as other players acting somewhat conservative from time to time. And plus, my anxiety doesn't help. Yikes.
Yeah.
After every session, I regret not making big moves in the moment, but I constantly find it difficult to balance the desire to do something impulsive in the game versus not pissing off my friends around the table if I do something that doesn't go to plan. The character I've written can be very selfish, violent, and brash when needed to, so I do feel disappointed that I haven't let her reach her full potential yet. At the end of the day, D&D is a cooperative game, so I don't want to take too much of the spotlight or always be the one to make plot-bending decisions. But do you think that my playstyle just might not mesh with my friends? Or do we simply need to break out of our comfort zone more? Any advice would be appreciated. Love you both. We love you too.
We love you too.
Thank you.
So, there is something to be said about balance.
Totally.
There is something to be said about too much of a good thing can be bad. But at the same time, not enough of a good thing can be bad as well.
I agree.
I think there are times where maybe doing the brash thing isn't the greatest thing to do.
Agreed.
But sometimes where doing the brash thing isn't going to affect everything all that much.
Yeah, true.
Like, take it from Margaret. Margaret is a person who likes to take a chance in D&D.
I do. And I feel for you, OP. Like, I felt like I was in a very similar situation. And, absolutely not to the extremes that I think you're saying here. But, our group, and I don't think they'd mind me saying this, sometimes there has been points where it's been making no decision because we're so locked and scared about
analysis
making
paralysis.
We get analysis paralysis. We used to a lot, right? And there was a few moments where I was like, I'm going to try this thing. And I've gone to the group and said, should I try this thing? And I've been talked out of it. And I've come away feeling the same, disappointed that I didn't, because the game isn't for winning. The game is, you said, it's a cooperative storytelling game. And in stories, things go fucking wrong.
Things go massively wrong. And we learn from them.
Exactly. Sometimes if you take a risk and it pays off, feels amazing.
Yeah.
You take a risk, it doesn't work, there's consequences to it, which you can overcome, which feels amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I think there is no bad decisions in D&D.
Zero.
Unless you are intentionally being
fucking
a detriment.
over the party,
Exactly.
But I think some of the most fantastic moments, and we said it before, and I think you all know exactly the example that Margaret's giving. It was the hold person when it was somebody was like, take one more step and I'll kill Humetta.
Yeah.
And you said, I cast hold person.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there was a chance that it could have gone wrong, but that was the decision you made in the moment. And I get that it's going to split the people, but that's just the way we play D&D. And everyone was like, no. And from that point on, I said, like, we don't tell each other what to do in big moments. If you're not there, you can't pipe in. Yes, we can have above table talk, but when it comes to like big decisions like that, I like it to be made by the character, the person who's in the decision.
Well, and, you know, an example of where this had really paid off in our first campaign, Matthew's character, Dimitrescu, he got a message that none of us heard, and it was on him purely to deal with it. Yeah. We had no input. He just did what he felt was right in the moment. And it was probably one of the best moments of the whole campaign.
Like, if everyone's getting upset, like, it's not saying that
I think you're worrying that people will get upset.
Like, if the thing is, if you try something and it doesn't work out, you can simply say the word, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like, truly.
Like, and notice, if you say, I tried a risk and it didn't come off, I'm sorry about that, guys. If your party's like, what the fuck? Like, that's unfair. Like, if you've made a decision, it didn't come off, there was a chance it would have, and it would have been amazing, but it didn't. If you just say, sorry, it didn't come off, then nobody should be upset with you at all.
And ever. OP, as long as you're making decisions that aren't going to negatively impact your party intentionally, I don't see the problem. I think there's kind of like a chronological order to do this in, right? I would try something.
Yeah.
If you get that impulse feeling, just say to the table, and it can be kind of cheeky, like, I'm going to try something.
Yeah.
And do it.
And like, if you feel like you have to, explain why your character would.
Yeah.
She's fed up with this. She runs in and she takes this situation by like the horns, and she wants to like take charge. And like your party can't turn around to you and go, why did you do that? It's like, you know, I did that.
Yeah, I just said.
I explained.
I just said.
Like, whether it's wrong or right, my character said, like, she's fed up with this situation. We aren't doing enough. She runs in and she sort of tries to take the situation, like, by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah.
Like, they know exactly why you're doing it.
Yeah.
They can hear it already in the moment. It's character-based. It's a little bit impulsive, which is something you want. And you know, like, it doesn't have to be every time, but maybe now and then when the stakes are low, you can begin to try those things.
Absolutely. And I would gauge their reactions from that.
I would, yeah.
If they are very openly negative and mean about it, I think what you said at the end, maybe your playstyle just doesn't mesh for them, and that's okay.
And that's fine. Like,
but
that is fine.
There could be another end of it where you said they're all scared to make the wrong decision. There could be someone else at the table feeling the same. There could be someone who also wants to try something, but is also too scared to do it. You could be setting a precedent by just doing the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could break them out of the mold.
Totally.
I think sometimes it does take one person to take fucking campaign 2, like a massive decision in the middle of the campaign around episode 50. Like, I won't spoil it for anyone. Liam makes a massive decision that literally defines the entire campaign. And everybody else was sat there going, and they didn't know what to do. And he just acted, and everyone was like, what the fuck? But it ended up, like, being an amazing moment.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you do just need to take a chance.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do, and it's not going to pay off every single time.
Yeah,
and that's absolutely fine. But nobody should ever blame you for it's a game. It's a game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, trying something, as long as you're not putting the party at a detriment, taking a chance is great.
Totally. And again, sometimes maybe people just need to see that there is no wrong way to play D&D.
D&D.
Sometimes you just have to do the thing, and we once again had a situation like this where I had to have a conversation with someone being like, I feel like you're really stopping me doing what I want to do. And I feel like you're worried you're going to make the wrong decision. And what are you worried about? Had the conversation, completely changed
and
everything.
They completely understood.
Completely understood.
Some people just don't understand that they're being like that. Like, analysis paralysis is real.
It is.
And, like, if you when you put a plan in place, we said it before. We'll say it again.
Yep.
It's got 20 sides, baby. There's a chance of failure. Like, you can never have the perfect plan. The perfect plan could be unhinged immediately as soon as you roll.
One dice roll.
As soon as you roll that natural one.
And I understand when people just make no choice because they're too worried. I hate that feeling too.
Yeah.
I really do. Maybe, try all these things. If you're comfortable, speak to your DM and say, like, you can not speak for anyone else and say, I'm really worried I'm going to make the wrong decision in the moment. Like,
but I want to, like, I get these impulses and I get these urges, and I feel like that's the way I want to play D&D. Will you back me up?
Yeah,
maybe,
if I try them,
yeah.
like, and your DM, I would like to think is going to be like, you can't make the wrong decision, of course.
Yeah, and your DM will be like if you take like a decision and it goes wrong, I won't just fucking shit on you and punish you for it. Yes, there might be some like bad consequences, but maybe it'll be simply like, she needs a bit of help. You guys need to come and help her.
And just say, like, I'm just really worried about doing it, and I'm certain your DM will make you feel comfortable.
Comfortable. Yeah, because if your DM, it like should facilitate like a little bit of like, if you want to take a chance, they shouldn't be like, no, I won't facilitate that. Like, I'll make you feel comfortable in the choices you want to make.
Yeah, maybe your DM sat there also frustrated. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Never know.
There's not many people who get more frustrated about analysis paralysis than the dungeon master.
Totally.
So they might even appreciate you saying it.
Agreed. I hope that helps, OP. I feel for you. I really do. And, there is nothing wrong at the end of the day after you've tried all these things, seeing how the reaction goes. You might just not mesh with them, and that's fine. That's completely fine. But your friends should never penalize you out of game.
No,
they shouldn't.
Never.
So I hope that helps.
Yeah.
And that's your lot.
That's your lot. That's your
Isn't
fill.
it? That's your fill. Are you full?
That's your bread and butter pudding.
That's your bread and butter pudding.
We said bread and butter pudding the other day, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is?"
Oh my god, bread and butter pudding slaps. You don't really like it very much.
No, I like it, but it has to be done right. Like, when it gets soggy,
that's the best part.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
The best part's the soggy bread and butter. What do you think?
It's not the sloppy stuff.
The sloppy bluffing bread and butter pudding. What do you think? Yeah.
Bread pudding.
So thank you so much to everyone who sent in your submissions.
Every single submission.
We really appreciate it.
We do.
And I really hope that this helped. I hope this helped the people who sent in the submissions. I hope if you're watching, this has helped or given you some inspiration or given you...
I do love doing advice.
Me too. I love doing advice as well.
I stood that on its end and it stayed up for half the podcast.
Shut up.
No, I'm not kidding you.
Has it been like that the whole time?
I just picked it up then, yeah.
Instant rewind! I'm not going to do that. I am not rewinding anything.
But yeah, like, I love doing the advice. Like, we sort of built this podcast off advice, I think.
True.
People coming to us for like our opinion and stuff like that. So when we can do like straight up advice, like, I've got this problem, what do you think?
Yeah.
I love doing it. And thanks to everyone who's ever put in a submission, and I hope if we've helped.
Yeah, and I think we've tried to dabble in things like making characters and doing more informative stuff. And, I don't know how successful that would be for our channel. I think stuff like this, stuff like answering advice and doing all the commentary, I think that's probably where our channel sits right now.
I feel like that's where people get the most pleasure out of our content.
I agree.
If there's any like commentary or any like commentary topics that we've maybe never done, we do Am I the Arsehole Horror Story, Horrible House Rules, D&D Hot Takes, and Popular Opinions and Advice. Is there anything else you want to hear?
Yeah, is there anything else you'd like us to talk about that isn't maybe necessarily like, well, no, even if it is like more D&D based.
I mean, this is all D&D.
Yeah, but like informational based.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, like, those don't do as well on our channel.
Agreed, and there's obviously a reason for that, right?
But I think you could look at that in a negative light and be like, why don't people like it? But it's like, it's not that people don't like it. I think people just like
enjoy this more.
The most.
And I think we enjoy this more too.
And I think we're better at this.
I think we're better at this as well. I think we are. And I think
play
when
to your strengths, baby.
Yeah. Like when we actually get our Patreon set up, maybe that's the place where people who want more niche, specific D&D teaching can maybe get it.
From balancing things and stuff like that. Because,
Indeed.
like I do be a dungeon master.
Do be dungeon master.
And I have to have balanced very needy players.
The dog has let himself into the front room.
Gonna...
We have set up many gates, and I'm not kidding you, he is brute forced. I watched him.
Did you?
He just brute forced his way into the living room.
Anyway.
We gotta go.
We got
a situation on our hands.
Okay, so a couple of shills.
Yeah!
www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk.
This isn't what the actual t-shirts look like. This was a prototype.
No, that's not from the Eldritch Podblast merch.
No.
So the Eldritch Podblast merch is on www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Our Hellbound shop on Etsy sells t-shirts.
Yay!
Like the Druid t-shirt and every other class, and Action Surge t-shirts and Meta Magic t-shirts,
Yay!
notebooks and tokens and spell cards and all sorts. So head there if you want to pick anything up. Hit the like button if you haven't. Hit the bell button to be notified when we upload a video on a Monday and a Thursday. Comment down below with any advice that you would give or any advice that you have. Our submission form is down below if you have anything that you want to submit for us to talk about on the podcast.
Send it in.
Subscribe if you haven't. I know most of you have, and I love you for that. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you. We've been the Eldritch Podblast, and we're going to see you on Monday.
Bye.